You claim to be for women. Be for all women. Be for all women. Be for all women. Be for all femmes. Cut this, oh, we don't want a whole bunch of this and blah, 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 and the jealousy and the man, just get to work. And keep that envy behind the scenes in the office, in the back room, during your coffee break. Because it's discrimination at the end of the day. And you're not allowed to do that. Body by Raven, Pilates by Raven, that's so Raven, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay. She took the video down and then she posted an apology. The reason she took that video down is because it exposed the way that a lot of these people feel inside of these so-called for women's spaces in the exercise industry. She took it down. She took it down because she exposed the unsaid in this industry that people do not want said out loud, right? They're playing this game. And if you've watched all of my videos, you know what I'm talking about, the passive aggressive game, right? So they play the passive aggressive game very well in these spaces, where they'll be very welcoming to you at first, you know, to get you to sign on for membership. And then they are so unwelcoming to you afterwards that, like, I guess their goal is to make you just not show up anymore, but of course continue paying for their membership, right? I mean, it's so bizarre how they flip it. It's like, why do you have black people on the brochure? There are certain black people that they're happy to have in these spaces, the rich, the famous, the well-connected, the ones that are not unambiguously black. You know, the ones that are the influencers, the popular influencers. I don't even know if the popular black women influencers could articulate what this experience is, because these women are very covert. And not just the women, men also work in these spaces. And I've felt the passive aggressive ire of both. So again, she's exposed this. I don't know if she works with a company, but I know they shaking their heads like, damn girl, now you done expose this. You know, we like to keep this on the low low, right? Isn't this what she kept doing? You guys think you can come to Pilates? It's not for the poor and black. It's how they feel in a lot of these spaces. And if they feel intimidated by you, they want you out with the quickness. And like, you know, think about the rationality of why that is, right? Average amazing black woman, you're going into this space, you know, I myself lost 90 pounds going into these spaces, not because of these spaces, because of the cardio that I did, because you don't lose weight doing this, but you do tone up, right? If you push yourself, if you do the work. So I've encountered the personalities just like hers, whether they're black or not. They don't want black women in the space. These are women's spaces, but they don't want black women in the space. Why? Again, because beautiful, natural behind is in the space, right? And it's intimidating, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to acknowledge you. They have to acknowledge how beautiful you are and how amazing you are and how we're naturally athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like, people never thought that I was going to be one of the best people in the space when I showed up there 90 pounds ago. But of course, you know, so then also what ends up happening is other black women see you in the space and they say, oh, wow, look at her. She's beautiful. She's in the space. I must be able to be in this space. I must be accepted in this space. And so other black women will come, and they don't want their place to be a black person place. They don't want a bunch of black people in their place because, you know, I don't care how liberal, how women, how alternative the space claims to be. They don't want black people in the space unless you're going to be bending and folding and mending and changing for them. And she said it out loud. She wasn't supposed to say it out loud. She said it out loud. Like, come on, girl. That's why biracial. That's why they don't like the biracials in the white spaces. That's why. Because she was so happy to be in the space. She's like, oh, we're elite. They don't say that part out loud. Right? They just feel it and know it. And, you know, this is a place for us to work out, but not you. Right? So, yeah. you know, kudos to her for exposing that. There are some really great instructors of these women's spaces as well, but they're few and far between. You get a lot of places that are doing these weird ego trips, you know, and you'll see them bragging about how this instructor's really mean. He's really mean. Like, why do I know that? Why have I heard multiple people talk about how mean this instructor is? Shouldn't that be something that y'all talk about behind the scenes? Why am I experiencing how mean this instructor is? Why? I came here to work out. You see what I'm saying? And if you stand up for yourself and you speak up and you say something, it's a problem. And these people have a very high school mentality. I guess being on the mat all day doesn't make your brain grow. I don't know, because they love to sit there and talk shit about other people, but I can get my hour or two in multiple times a week and be Gucci. I don't need to spend all motherfucking day in there. Anyways, so they have a very high school mentality in a lot of these spaces. It's all these up and looking down and passive aggressive and this and that. It's very bizarre when you're a grown individual and you want to work out, because they ain't got nothing else better to do. This is what they do. So they want gossip and they want, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, if y'all start being professional, this girl outed y'all, so start being professional. I've already made it clear in multiple places that I'm not the one. Go mess with somebody else. I'm trying to work out. See, they don't want us to work out because they don't want us to be healthy, because they don't want us to be a threat, because they don't want us to be, because they don't want the playing field to be leveled. It's all of that. That's why I continue to work out. And I'll do it like, you know, a lot of the South American people I see doing it. I'll run up and down these mountains, motherfucker. Okay, you ain't gonna stop me from working out. But it is ridiculous at this point. Okay, and Body by Pilates by That's So Raven exposed that. She did that, and everybody saw the video, and there's multiple copies of the video all over. So her taking it down doesn't mean anything. So you guys have been exposed for doing that and stuff. It's weird. You claim to be for women. Be for all women. Be for all women. Be for all women. Be for all femmes. Cut this, oh, we don't want a whole bunch of this and blah, 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 and the jealousy, and the man, just get to work. And keep that envy behind the scenes in the office, in the back room, during your coffee break, because it's discrimination at the end of the day, and you're not allowed to do that.